Welcome once again, everybody. Good to see everybody. Good to see you. It's a nice day. A little crisp breeze in the air, but it's very nice. I'm looking out my window. This is a video that is just sort of informational. All right, it's not talking about the class that we've been covering. This whole identity thing. That'll be the next one, okay? And I'll do that right away. There was a meeting. We Zoomed, the entire department Zoomed, and which I'm thinking of doing for us as well. I don't even know how that's going to work out. Anyway, a couple of things have come up that people were trying to work on things, trying to decide. They're deciding. Because of these uncertain times and strange times, they're making allowances for things. For instance, we're going to have professors will have more time to get our grades in at the end of the semester because of people in various parts of the world. But as far as you're concerned, this is just for you, okay? There is a grading issue, which would make, I'm sure, a lively debate in class right now, if we could be in class right now. As it stands, it's A, B, C, D, F as usual. But because of the variety of things that are occurring and where people are and what condition they're in terms of what kind of software they have and machinery they have and where they are, Wi-Fi and all that stuff, people are considering a pass-fail. And they are also considering a not for credit or no credit designation. This is the debate. Of course, if you assume that everybody is, if I can assume that everybody is doing the right thing and working hard on their papers, doing all the readings, watching the videos, getting on the discussion boards, then I see no reason why we should just let it be A, B, C, D, F, although I'm not foreseeing any Fs. I'm just saying those are the grades. Somebody asked whether or not this is going to be mandatory or across the board one way, or there's going to be an option. It seems the way it stands right now, though, nothing's been decided. Make that clear. That eventually the students, you guys, will have to tell the professor, me, what you'd like to do, and then I'll just have to work it out with however they're going to set that up on the computer or whatever. So think about that. I don't see any reason why all of you can't do just as well this distance learning thing as you would in the class. I think you'd benefit more in the class, but in terms of getting the grade, such as it is, ultimately I'm grading your papers, and as far as participation, well, that grade is sort of moot. So a lot depends on the papers and how well you do on the, how much you respond on the discussion boards and any rewrites you might do, and anything else that might be helpful that we can do this way. So that came up. The proficiency exam has come up. This is important. You need that thing to graduate, and they always give it at this point at the end of, during the finals week, at the end of WSC 2. That's us. This particular, usually they just give out, I think I told you this already, they just give out an essay, you read it, and on the day of the essay to write in the classroom, you get another one online, you got two of them on the same topic, you write an essay. Not going to happen this time. This time, there's some sort of a book in which there's an essay from, and I don't have it in front of me now. It has to do, there's a collection of short writings called Bad Ideas About Writing. And I think they're going to use one of them. And that essay is going to be about writing in some particular way. And then they're going to ask you to comment on and write an essay about one of your former essays. So instead of reading two essays and then writing an essay about the two, like if the two essays are about, botany, two different things, you're going to write an essay about botany or whatever, leadership there. So here's the way it stands. You've already got 2 essays locked away and written for me already. And there's another one coming up next week. I'll talk about that next. The thing about this essay, the PE, it does need to have, 2 or 3 secondary sources. It needs to have secondary sources. And since this little essay is only an inspirational one, your essay has to already have secondary sources. So, if you can either, for the PE you can either take one of your former essays, essay 1 or essay 2, and go back and add secondary sources to it. I would say 2 or 3, no more. With a works cited page. We could use that. And then that one gets submitted. I'm not sure where it goes. I think it goes to Blackboard. I'll let you know that. That's all going to happen soon. You'll get announcements. And then your essay will be about that essay. And it'll be based upon this small essay you're going to be asked to read. If you don't like your first 2 essays, then let's look at the 3rd essay. Which brings me to this next mandate. This next essay you're going to write must have 2 or 3 secondary sources. Okay? I haven't been too stringent on that at all. It's always been an option, but I'm more interested in the creativity of the writing and the content and everything else. But because of this new thing, if you haven't done it already, we might as well start doing it. So the next 2 essays, the remainder of the semester, the 2 essays will be required to have secondary sources. And of course, they can come from virtually anywhere depending upon what your particular topic and perspective is. You can email me, we can talk about it online. You're going to be running your topics by me anyway. I can make some suggestions through an email or through the discussion board. So keep that in mind. So the PE will have you writing about your own essay from sort of an objective standpoint. And again, more to come on this. So the next essay, which is due next week, which is due next Friday, which I think is the 10th, right? It's due next Friday. And I think it can be on, let me get my folder here. Obviously, it can be on identity, which we're still talking about. We have talked about heroes. If you didn't do it the last time, we'll let that one roll over to this one. Or the next topic, which I'll talk about in a video tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll make it, about romance. This whole notion of romance. There are 2 articles you should be reading. One of them is on your syllabus. One of them is called Romance at Arm's Length, and the other one is called The End of Courtship. Both of those are on Blackboard. I just uploaded the links to them so you can download them right now and read them. They're not long, and I'll be talking about those again, hopefully later today, but probably tomorrow morning. And of course, the identity one, so it's those 3 topics you're thinking about. Okay, there's plenty to talk about in terms of how these things are reflected in our pop culture today. There's plenty of articles you can go find anywhere on the planet through the internet. So do think about that. And the next remainder of the essays for the course do need to have secondary sources. So that's it. Now, in order to make this even more like we're in the classroom, next Wednesday, which is the 8th, and the deadline is noon, not 11:59, because I want to be able to read these and get them back to you. I would like you to send me I want you to send me an introductory paragraph with a thesis. And we'll set that up on the, I'll set that up, I haven't done it yet, I'll set that up on the discussion board. Let me just make a note of that. pen just exploded. Why can pens explode? How does that even happen? Let me try another pen. So you'll see that soon enough. It'll just say intro with thesis, and you'll just put it in there, and I'll get back to those the minute you as soon as you can. I'm not going to wait till noon. That's just don't wait till a minute before noon, please. Just get them into me, and I can get them back to you, right away. And then the essay will be due. The final draft will be due on Friday. This is normally when I would say any questions, but that seems silly. So that's it. Okay, you know everything you have to know. PE, grading, the 2 essays to read, the introductory paragraph with your thesis, and the final draft of the 3rd essay. There it is. I'm going to post this video right now, and then I will, a little bit later, try to get those 2 essays discussed. Peace, everybody. Take care of yourself. And wash those hands.